When it comes to Legacy of Kain, Fallen Brothers, Zephon, it is surprisingly good for a comic that is so short. Preston Acevedo, I'm sorry if I butchered your name, kind of carries this comic with his art, and that's the thing that I do love about comics, is that essentially they are mini art books, for better or worse, depending on the artist and depending on the comic. Not that comic artists are bad, but there is a certain taste for everything. When it comes to that taste for Legacy of Kain, we want dark fantasy style art. It's very strange to me that I've been seeing comparisons now between the Dead Shall Rise, the two Top Cow comics that came out in the 90s and the 2000s, as well as the Zephon comic, and how the Dead Shall Rise is still the outlier. The art on display here that I'll probably never shut up about within this video is simply stunning. From the cover to every single page is some of the most detailed, grotesque, unique styles I've seen in a long time. I don't think I've ever seen this style before. If you have, if you know anything else that is similar to this style, please let me know. This put Preston Acevedo on my map for comic artists. It's that good. When it comes to the writing, thankfully it's short and Joshua Viola does an okay job. The latter half of the comic, meaning the ending, the final 2 pages, are just recreations of the boss fight from the game. It's exactly what I speculated in all my other videos talking about this, is that we would probably get a very short origin story for Zephon, which we did. We got his creation. We have him taking over Silenced Cathedral with his clan. We have how his clan is devolving and evolving in a sense. And then we finally end it with Raziel killing him in the final boss fight, which is a recreation, and you can just take it straight from the games. There's a very good chance the Malkaya comic will be the exact same, and I seriously wish that it wasn't part of a super expensive limited run collector's edition. Dumbest idea ever. It should have been a digital thing as well for the Dead Shall Rise campaign. It's weird that they did Zephon standalone and Malkaya is also separate. Part of me also wishes the Dead Shall Rise campaign was just the Fallen Brothers campaign. This Zephon comic, for being as short as it is pretty good. Like I said, I would have loved to see Terrell, Dumas, and Rahab get their own comics, and then it all converges to a Raziel comic and his clan before the fall of Raziel and the resurrection. And there's a million different things to do. They could have done all of that, and the craziest thing is they did do all of this before. Thanks to the Zephon comic, Nosgoth is now canon again, thank God. Because I honestly loved the lore of Nosgoth because it was partially written by Daniel Kabuko, and it gave us the backstory and the lore for all of the clans, which they show us here in this comic of Zephon. In Nosgoth, we learned that Zephon were like the Hellraiser sort of torture people. They would torture their bodies to expand and evolve. We learned that Dumas are essentially samurai, the warrior caste of Kain's empire. Rahab were like Kain's special SWAT unit. Raziel's clan were surprisingly the mages of the crew and were magically inclined. Terrell were the blacksmiths of the clan as well. Like, there's so much great background lore in Nosgoth. It's just a shame that we won't ever get to see it fleshed out. And you could have had the Dead Shall Rise campaign be exactly that, fleshing out that lore, giving us this Zephon comic, the rest of the brothers, and then expanding upon it. There's a million things they could have done, reason they didn't. I mentioned in my review that probably my favorite sequence and panels are the ones where Kain is raising the sons from the grave of the Tomb of the Seraphim. I think that's the best looking sequence and panel within the Dead Shall Rise, and it's probably why they used it for the trailers. Within this Zephon comic, that's the first panel, and Kain looks killer, but this is just so cool. I fell in love with this art style the moment I cracked it open, man. Now, I could be reaching a lot, which I probably am, but this instantly kind of gave me that same sort of vibe of Gustave Doré or Sergio Tappi. Doré is known as the Paradise Lost guy for anybody who's ever read that book or seen his paintings. He was a famous wood cutting painter or artist where you would carve out on the wood and there's your painting, right? Sergio Tappi is the Italian historical accurate artist comic guy. Sergio Tappi started out as an actual medical student, getting his doctorate and everything else like that to cut people open, and in the meantime studied art on the side. Tappi would then go on to be the guy who ended up drawing like 90% or something ridiculous of all of the anatomical illustrations in medical books at the time, and I'm pretty sure some of his stuff is still used today. It could be, have no idea on that part, but Tappi would eventually end up going to be a full-blown artist and drawing some of the most gorgeous, historically accurate paintings or comics drawings ever, and has a whole collection of volumes from westerns to ancient Japan, etc., etc., etc. Sergio Tappi. For whatever reason, this Zephon comic, even though it's incredibly gross at times and just sort of stylistically not even similar, gave me the same feeling. It feels similar even though it's not, if that makes any sense whatsoever. This is also your reminder to go read any and all Sergio Tappi comics. They're fucking fantastic. I've been on a deep dive since then, as well as just check out Doré's art if you haven't seen Gustave Doré's art, Paradise Lost guy, yada yada yada.
There is no returning for you, Raziel.
Zephon, your visage becomes you. It's an appropriate reflection of your soul.
And you are not his handsome Raziel anymore. His precious firstborn son turned betrayer. You have missed so many changes, little Raziel. Look around you. See how the human's weapon of destruction has become my home. Indeed, my body. A cocoon of brick and granite from which to watch a pupating world.
A crevice in which to cower, only scuttling from the shadows to devour a victim already ensnared in your cowardly trap. But you've made the mistake of leaving me unbound, and it is you who must succumb to my will.
Will, instinct, reflex action. The insect mind finds little difference. I warn you, brother. As my stature has grown, so it is matched by my appetite. Step forward, morsel.
So I think that's it for this video. It's a very short one, but I also want to know, what are your guys, like, if you guys didn't read this yet, it's down below. You guys can download it, okay? It's free, basically. I have no idea this is going to be on Amazon. If I get sued or a CND, then obviously I'll take it down. But you can download the comic now and read it. It's 9 to 10 pages long. I really enjoyed this, even though it's incredibly short. I think I liked it mostly for the art. As the writing, it's whatever, it's there, and of course the ending is just dialogue from Soul Reaver. I've been Calypso. If you like this video, like this video. If you dislike this video, dislike this video, and let me know your thoughts down below. What did you think of this comic? Do you guys want to see more of the brothers, and should they just expand right off the Dead Shall Rise immediately as a what-if scenario, like I said in my other videos, and give us a complete brothers saga? Focus on the brothers, focus on the Nosgoth War. They could have just adapted that into comics. I think I would have rather liked that instead. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. See you in the next one. Enjoy some gameplay. Bye, everybody.